The biggest constraint to growth in India and the developing world is infrastructure like transportation, warehousing, energy, housing, IT bandwidth, etc. Infrastructure, being a natural monopoly, has traditionally been the responsibility of the government for development. However, financial and managerial capacity deficit in government has led us to the involvement of private players with greater risk sharing and moving from the traditional contract mode to the public-private partnership PPP mode. The advent of PPPs brought in significant challenges both for the government and the private players. Roles and mindset needed redefinition, especially on the government side. Appropriate regulation became more critical. There is need to learn from both successes and failures of PPPs in the infrastructure sector to bring in a greater maturity and professionalism in the ecosystem by developing competencies and perspectives. This raises interesting questions such as, how do you structure infrastructure projects? How do you assess risks and manage them? How do you share risks between the government and the PPP player? How do you do tendering and bidding? How do you develop sustainable concession agreements? How do you develop an appropriate regulatory ecosystem? I am G. Raghuram. I have been interested in the domain of infrastructure over the past 30+ years as a professor in public systems and public policy. I specialize in infrastructure and transport systems and logistics and supply chain management. I have been director IIM Bangalore over the past 3 years. In this course, I talk about infrastructure, its characteristics, drivers for commercial outlook, and key implications of commercialization and bringing in PPPs. This course will address the questions that I have raised. It will provide a grounding in theory and further build on case studies from various infrastructure sectors, leveraging India's rich experience in PPPs. There is much that a global audience can learn from this course, as the implications of commercialization remain constant irrespective of geography. I invite you to join my course on infrastructure development, PPPs, and regulation.